All right, let's jump right into this explainer and look at the absolute pinnacle of extreme performance engineering. We're talking about the fierce battle for hypercar supremacy. We're entering a space where the laws of physics, they're treated more like gentle suggestions. This is a world where people are spending literal millions of dollars for one thing: the privilege of pure, unfiltered speed. So, to really wrap our heads around the scale of this engineering marvel, we've got to start by imagining something completely absurd. Just imagine the sheer, visceral craziness of exposing a driver to open air and massive aerodynamic forces at a target speed of 300 miles per hour. To put that into perspective for you, commercial airliners usually take off at roughly half that speed. Trying to do this on the ground without the safety of a closed cabin, it's a pursuit that honestly borders on madness, and that is exactly what makes the engineering behind it absolutely fascinating. And hitting that number requires pure, unadulterated brute force. Specifically, we're talking about 1,817 horsepower. And get this, that's coming from a purely combustion-driven engine. We aren't talking about electric motors instantly zapping out torque here. No way. We are talking about explosions, immense pressure, and the raw mechanical aggression of a twin-turbocharged V8. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll be hitting the 300 mph roofless race, anatomy of the Venom, shattering the COTA record, a masterclass in carbon fiber, Hennessey versus Bugatti, and finally, the broader luxury market. All right, section 1, the 300 mph roofless race. So, these two companies have actually been battling for the convertible speed record for years now. Bugatti set this incredibly high bar with the Veyron at just over 254 miles per hour. But then, the Texan underdog, Hennessey, came in and snatched it away with the Venom GT Spider at 265.6. And now, well, they are both independently racing to be the very first to break that mythical 300 mile per hour barrier without a roof. Moving on to section 2, anatomy of the Venom. Okay, sitting mid-mounted in this chassis is the aptly named Fury V8. This is what's delivering that 1,817 horsepower and revving all the way out to 8,500 RPM. But because this is a roadster, the roof design is a massive deal. It features this super rigid, weatherproof carbon fiber panel that weighs a mere 18 pounds. It's locked down by high-strength latches just to survive those insane aerodynamic forces we talked about. It even includes a tempered glass viewing window that's 4 times stronger than normal glass. Why? Well, just so you can gaze at that absolute powerhouse of an engine. You see, company founder John Hennessey famously set out to build what he calls the decathlete of hypercars. What does that mean? It means this thing couldn't just go crazy fast in a straight line on some empty runway. It had to handle, it had to brake, and it had to corner with the agility of a dedicated race car. Which brings us to section 3, shattering the COTA record. The definitive proof of that decathlete mission went down in March of 2024. The 2,998-pound Venom F5 completely smashed previous production car lap records at the Circuit of the Americas. I mean, beating the Zinger C21 is impressive on its own, but outpacing the legendary McLaren P1 by almost 7 full seconds, that is just a completely different level of dominance. And get this, they pulled this off using street-legal tires. Absolutely wild. Just try to imagine the sensory violence of that lap. Test driver David Donahue was pulling some serious G-forces out there. We're talking up to 1.59 Gs through the technical corners and 1.61 Gs under heavy braking. Then, when the track finally straightened out, the F5 just unleashed its fury, hitting over 193 miles per hour on the back straight alone. Now for section 4, masterclass and carbon fiber. This whole pursuit of speed, it really isn't just about raw power. It is an absolute masterclass in precision. Hennessey actually created a nearly 100-page instruction book just for the carbon fiber application. Think about that. Every single strand is laid at a perfect 45-degree angle, forming this flawless herringbone pattern right down the car's spine. And that rear bumper, it is literally the single largest piece of carbon fiber in the entire auto industry, featuring CNC milled heat vents. If a piece isn't absolutely 100% perfect, Hennessey tosses it out. No compromises. Next up, section 5, Hennessey versus Bugatti. Here we have the ultimate tale of the tape. On one side, you have the lightweight, rear-wheel drive brute force of the Hennessey, pushing 1,817 horsepower for about $3 million. And on the flip side, you've got the all-wheel drive 16-cylinder grandeur of the Bugatti Mistral, coming in at a whopping $5 million, with a significantly higher production run of 99 units. Both of these titans are chasing 300 miles per hour, but their engineering philosophies, they couldn't be more different. So while both buyers are spending literal millions to go incredibly fast without a roof, their experiences inside the cabin are just worlds apart. One buyer is getting a visceral, no-compromises track weapon, complete with a Formula One-style steering yoke and exposed carbon buckets. The other, they're buying a rolling, luxurious work of art, totally swathed in hand-woven leather, titanium, and classic analog dials. And finally, Section 6, the broader luxury market. According to the 2025 Apollo Future Mobility Group annual report, affluent buyers and urban expansion are driving a really massive shift toward premium electric mobility right now. Automakers are actively broadening their EV and hybrid portfolios to meet strict regulatory requirements and, frankly, to appeal to a new wave of eco-conscious buyers. What does this mean for our 300-mile-per-hour racers? It means the era of these massive, entirely combustion-driven hypercars is facing a major regulatory headwind. Knowing that electric vehicles are the undisputed future of the broader industry, it really begs a provocative question. Are we currently witnessing the spectacular, deafening final chapter of the internal combustion hypercar? If the Venom F5 truly is the peak of the gasoline era, well, it is certainly one exhilarating way to say goodbye. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep your eyes on the horizon, because this race to 300 is far from over.